Hello everybody, Crystal Cimaglia here and welcome back to my channel. Today's video, as you can see in the title, is going to be the first installment of my Tips from a Retired Disney Princess series, my audition story. So if you are interested in auditioning for Disney, or you're just curious as to how I got hired for the company, stay tuned. Once upon a time, about 10 years ago, it will be 10 years this coming January, I went down and I went and auditioned for the Disney College program. They weren't holding any auditions really close to New York. So when you applied to the Disney College program, again, this was going back 10 years ago, so I'm not sure if the process is a little different, but at the time you had to do, there was an online application and then a telephone interview, and then they would let you know if they saw you fit to even come down to audition. So I passed all of those steps and then I was invited to audition. And I decided to audition down in Raleigh, North Carolina, because my best friend that I grew up with, Dea, hi Dea, she lives in Charlotte still to this day, and we just decided that it would be a perfect opportunity to see each other. So I flew into Raleigh, my best friend Dea drove a couple hours to come get me, and we just went into our hotel, and then the following day we went to the audition. It was quite a small dance studio, and even though I was a teenager, I was used to auditioning in New York City, so it was nice to be at a smaller audition. If you are auditioning to be a character performer, you get hired as a character performer first. Then, the whole Disney princess or face character role, you are evaluated to see if you are typed for any of those characters that they need. And a thing you'll learn if you are interested in applying to Disney, Disney casting, especially for their character performers, is all about height, because they have these incredible costumes that are so expensive and so well made, and they all have to fit a certain height criteria. Part of the audition process is they measure your height, and they're very specific. I mean, down to like even a quarter of an inch. I remember they measured me at 5'2½". I believe I'm 5'3", but I'm 5'2½", which made me monk height. Monk is short for chipmunk, meaning Chip and Dale. Because of my height, I can portray characters such as Chip and Dale, Winnie the Pooh, who else? Susie and Perla, Little Cinderella's Mice, Jessie from Toy Story 2, all of those characters in that height range. Any Disney audition you walk into, you are going to feel welcomed. It's going to be really warm and fuzzy. Their casting team are very much encouraged to make a really comfortable audition environment. Coming from big, crazy New York City auditions, going to such a warm, friendly environment was so refreshing for me. They're gonna audition you on animation and on your movement ability. For the movement ability, it was a very simple dance combination. It's just kind of a way for casting to kind of rate where you fall. Casting can tell right away if you are a professionally trained dancer or if you're just someone who moves well. Probably the most important part of a character performer audition is your animation section of it. Again, this is going back 10 years ago, but I do remember them giving us a scenario and we were supposed to act it out. So this really all comes back down to clowning. Those of us in America, clowning to us, we think of like, you know, crazy hair, big red nose. But the true art of clowning is using your body, using your face to be really over the top and exaggerated to tell a story without words even. That's really the job. And you have to bring that to life. You have to bring that cartoon character to life. And you're going to do that through your movement and through your abilities to turn your head and say, oh yeah, that looks great, without speaking, you know? I remember they brought us in and they had us act out a scenario. She's like, okay, you have a big ice cream cone. Now show me the most like dramatic way. Oop, that's my little puppy Buster. He's so loud. Okay, my dog has seemed to calm down. I don't know if it was the mailman. Okay, we're good. So, getting back to the story, I recall them telling us to imagine we had a really big ice cream cone, and it was as high up as as we could imagine. But now it's melting and it's falling. We were all in a big room scrambling around to animate this scene in as big a manner as possible to show casting that we have the ability to make these characters come to life. After the movement and after the animation, I just remember them telling us that we'd be able to log into whatever like Disney College Program portal and kind of, you know, see the results of the audition. So I did find out that I was not only accepted as character performer, but I was being considered as a potential face character. Now, being that the audition city I went to was a smaller audition, they didn't bring any of the costumes or wigs to fit us in any of these face character roles. I had to wait until I got down to Disney World, until I actually started the program, to find out who and if I was even going to be cast as a face character. Through the course of my Disney career, I've had the great honor and privilege to portray Disney characters such as Snow White, Belle, Ariel, and even Cinderella. I did not get hired as a princess initially, and that broke my little 19-year-old heart. But little did I know it would be the biggest blessing in disguise. I got fit for a brand new character from a brand new straight-to-DVD series called the Tinkerbell movie. If you're not familiar with this little franchise of the Tinkerbell movies, it basically focuses on Tinkerbell's beginning before Peter Pan and all of her fairy friends. So Pixie Hollow is where they all live, and there was a meet and greet location at Disney World in Magic Kingdom at Fantasyland, and it was the hot new thing, and only existing cast members had been casted as these fairies, and most of these girls were already trained in other things that took more priority, like parade, or they were in the castle show. I remember being there in Orlando, in one of like the backstage kind of buildings on Disney property there. And it was myself and a few of my fellow girlfriends in the same position as me who went to small auditions and weren't able to get fit. And we were all just so excited. And I remember one girl got fit in almost every princess. And I remember Brittany was fit in Snow, Cindy in Aurora, and just like she looked perfect in everything. And then my other friend was fit in Alice, and then Wendy, and I was just so excited to get fit in any classic Disney character. And then for me, they come up to me and they were like, "Crystal, we're gonna fit you in Fawn." I'm like, who the heck is Fawn? They took me back. They had cosmetology there. They had a beautiful wig laid out. They had makeup. Disney provides each character performer with very specific colors, so it is just cohesive, and no matter what park you go to, we use the same exact colors of the same brand of theatrical makeup, which is really cool. But they didn't even have a full costume backstage. That's how new this character was. I remember just wearing like some yoga pants and like a sports bra, which kind of mimicked the costume that I was going to be wearing. And I remember they put the wig on, and Fawn, I'll try and insert a picture. Fawn has this big, beautiful, long braid, and it's such a heavy wig that it actually has to get like pinned on your shoulder. Yeah, and I had lines I had to read, and I had to go in for the casting director and pretend to be this character who I didn't know anything about. I didn't have the opportunity to see this movie yet. It was brand new. I don't even know if the movie was out yet, to be honest. So I hadn't even seen the movie. I didn't know what this character was about, what she sounded like. I just was only able to read the character breakdown and the few lines I had right before I was about to go into the room. So I was so nervous. I was like, I just knew I had to do a good job because I knew I had to be a face character. That was my dream. That was the reason why I was there. I just wanted to be able to bring to life a Disney character. Disney was a huge part of my upbringing, and I was just so excited to be able to be a part of that magic. I go in, give my best performance of this little animal talent fairy and being as peppy and fun as I could be. And the casting director did get back to me with some feedback, and so then I altered what I did, just like any other professional audition situation. And I left, and then they told us, kind of, again, there was like a row of all of us, and they told all of us right then and there, like, who we were getting approved in. The Disney audition process is a long one, because at the end of the day, even if they initially approve the way you look in the costume and the way you fit, you still have to go through a 5-day basic character training, from what I recall, which is just for a character, and then you have to go through an additional face character training, and then your individual character, you have to watch the movie. You're going to have to be able to communicate with fluidity your story as if it's your own, as if it's your own life experience. Yeah, and I do remember character training being pretty intense. Even though I wasn't getting trained in a princess role, I still had to do the kind of the charm school, and we learn how to pose and wave. Oh yes, wave, and each princess has her own little wave and her own pose. Oh my. It was really cool. And Fawn, my character, was complete opposite of any of that hoity-toity girly princess stuff.
Well, alright, wing wavers, I'm gonna show you how to cluck just like a chicken, okay? Now, first thing you have to do is you have to flap your little wings. Okay, are you flapping? Alright, now you keep flapping, alright? You have to put your head down a little too, because the chickens like it when you're waddling. Then you go, and that's it.
Fawn was a really difficult character for me to nail, because Fawn is a tomboy and I am the girliest girl I know. I just love everything frilly, everything shiny and glamorous. So having to kind of like even get the physical characterization, she was like real cool. So although Fawn was initially a hard character for me to tackle, it ended up being one of the biggest blessings, because most Disney College Program character performers don't really get an opportunity to do their face character so consistently. My one friend was friends with Snow White when we did our college program, my friend Tracy. Hi Tracy, I hope you're watching. Tracy got scheduled for character shifts more consistently than her face character shifts. And because there was such a need to have my character in Pixie Hollow, I got to fly around Pixie Hollow with my good friend Fawn the entire time. It was just an amazing experience. It was a great semester. Backtracking, I'm going off track here. So that was kind of my initial Disney audition, getting hired story. As I've mentioned before, I continue to work for Disney Cruise Line and Hong Kong Disneyland, and those each have a different story for how I got hired. I will definitely make those videos at a later date. Comment below if you've liked this video, if it was helpful to you at all. Please also, if you're interested in auditioning for Disney, if you have your college program coming up soon, please leave me a comment below. Give this video a thumbs up if you want to see more videos like this. I really do want to help. Again, I feel like after working for the company for 5 years and then continuing to kind of still be in the loop with the entertainment world, because I made some best friends working for Disney, and quite a few of them still work for Disney, so I'm still kind of in the loop as to what's going on. Tell me what kind of videos will be helpful for you within this series, Tips from a Retired Disney Princess. I want to make more videos about my entertainment career at large. I have done quite a few different odd jobs and worked for a bunch of amazing companies. I also worked on cruise ships for years and have an extensive history and knowledge of cruise ship life, so I'm definitely gonna make probably another series. If you're interested in hearing about my time on cruise ships, working for Celebrity Cruises, Disney Cruise Line, Norwegian Cruise Line, let me know in the comments below. I'm so excited to start this conversation here on YouTube with you all and to get to know you all better. So just tell me what kind of videos you'd like to see from me and I'll be happy to make them for you. Until next time, folks, Thank you so much for visiting, and I will see you real soon.